Hello, I'm Corvin May, and coming up next we have the Shadow of Colossus 4-way any percent normal race. So why don't you take it away, Ruby Hart and Stocky, your commentators for this race.
Amazing. Hi, everyone. How's it going? I am Ruby Hart, they, she pronouns, a Shadow of the Colossus runner in the community. And Stocky.
Hey, my name is Stocky. Pronouns is he/they. And I'm also a Shadow of the Colossus speedrunner. And
Amazing.
today, for our runners, we have Tic Tac 12 in the, I believe, top left. Yep. We have Foxy Zilla in the top right, JK in bottom left, and Aiden in bottom right.
So we have representatives in this race from Germany, the United States, the UK, and from Canada. So all across the world, which is really incredible. So we are going to get started with this race in just a minute. These are 4 of the top runners in the world for several different categories of this game. So you're really in for an amazing race here. So everyone, racers, let me know when you are all set to start. I see 2, it looks like Aiden and Tic Tac already on the starting menus. So Foxy and JK, just let me know when you're over there and good to go. Okay, it looks like everyone is on the starting menu. And everyone, thank you so much for the hype train that we got in chat. All of that money goes to charity for Team Velocity. So thank you so much. And here, Stocky, do you want to count it down?
Yeah, sure. So if all of the races are ready, we will start in 3, 2, 1, and go. So for this race, we are going to be doing the classic any percent normal. Just beat the game, normal difficulty. That's about it. Ruby, what is this game?
This is a game that all of us hold dear. That's kind of the reason why we speedrun it. So what you're going to see is this main character, Wander, has come to this land known as the Forbidden Land because he had a dead girl with him named Mono. Now, whether they are boyfriend, girlfriend, whether they are brother, sister, cousins, just people who don't really know each other, it's not ever established in canon, but everyone kind of has their own fan theories. But you come to this land with this dead girl and ask this god known as the Doorman, hey, I have this dead girl, can you bring her back to life? And Doorman says, cool, but only if you defeat the colossi that contain my power. So this game doesn't have grunts in between fights. It doesn't have anything like that you have to worry about getting through. It is just the big 16 Colossus fights, and they're designed like platforming puzzles. So you use the environment and everything else to your advantage while only having the entire game a sword and bow at your disposal. So what you're going to see right here is people doing the cliff jumps that are headed all the way up to the Colossus. And Stocky, do you want to go over who this first fight is going to be with?
Yeah, perfect. So this first fight is with the first Colossi, one of the better known ones. His name is Valus. The community, just in general, not just speedrunning, but the community have given each Colossi their own little names. The first one is Valus. It's the weird minotaur with the big club from the beginning. So what we'll be doing here, and the runners will be doing, is during the cutscene in which you stab his leg to make him fall down, you actually still have control of Wander. So during that cutscene, we are going to run parallel to his body, and then just do a completely blind jump to his head, or to his chest, and then just climb up instead of having to do the very slow thing of climbing up his butt and then his back and then finally up top to his head. One thing that it is to mention is that Foxy is the only runner with a SSD, so his exact time is going to be a bit different. He might be ahead because of load sometimes, or because he's a great player, so do keep that in mind.
Yeah, and one other thing that's a really good point to note, Stocky. So the way that it looked for me is it looks like we have JK and Foxy that ended their cutscene right at the same time. So they're going to be pretty close to each other. But if you ever hear us mention the SSD or the IGT, this is one game where the in-game time is really what matters, especially for the speedrun chart and for races. So we're going to be looking for that IGT to figure out exactly who comes in what place, because even though it may look right now like certain people are ahead, in the end, that's not actually the exact amount of time that they spend in the game, like Stocky said, because of load times and the type of system they have, their internet connection, things like that. So it looks like, yep, Foxy and JK just came out of that cutscene and are going to be heading towards the second Colossus. Now, these first two are built more as like tutorial colossi, but they give you a really good idea of how these weak points are going to work for future fights, so that you're basically set up to make sure that you're looking for those. Every single Colossus fight kind of depends on you using the weak points in order to mount them in some way, shape, or form. All right, let me see. Yeah, go for it, Stocky.
Yeah, so here is where we're going to use our first real glitch in the game. Although it's not a glitch, it's an exploit, whatever. There is a trigger down at the bottom to start the fight, and for some reason, the trigger for the actual cutscene goes up really, really high up. So in the new remaster, they've added a lot of like geometry and pretty rocks everywhere, which has also allowed us to just jump on the rocks and trigger the cutscene to start the fight from up top, which saves us having to go down, and on top of that, allows us to start the fight on top of the Colossi, as we see Foxy jump down.
It's also just really fun getting that air. And one thing that's great, so Foxy is on the head of Quad right now and was able to get that plant. So on the head of Quad, it's an extremely narrow bit of basically body space, and if you ever hear us refer to a plant, that essentially is a spot on the Colossus that you can grab, and no matter how much the Colossus moves around, they aren't going to be able to shake you. And then on this butt, something we do is called cycle stabs, where you actually quickly let go and re-grab to quickly get those stabs in. So Foxy just brought down Quadratus with JK very closely behind, so keeping in mind the IGT difference with the SSD, it seems like JK and Foxy are extremely close, neck and neck in this race at this point. Yeah, go for it.
One thing also to take into account as well is with Shadow of the Colossus, races are just unpredictable. It's completely unpredictable because this entire speedrun is a lot of peaks of difficulty. You've got the mellow, just riding from Colossi to Colossi, which there's still a lot of time to be saved with optimal movement, but at just about nearly any Colossi, it can go wrong and it can punish a lot. Like most records don't get all of the tricks right. So 1 or 2 mistakes.
Yeah, and one of the main reasons for that is just like Stocky, you and I and anyone who runs the game can attest to this. The inputs for this game are so specific. A good part of it is based on knowing the exact positioning to basically activate certain animations with the different colossi. Some are just glitching the game and hoping for a fluke or the right RNG, especially with Avion and Pelagia that we'll get to later. But one of the things that we say, because this community, we've actually started over the course of the past year since pandemic started, we've been doing community races together, and it's just been really incredible. So one of the things you'll hear us say is, oh, you know, I'm doing pretty well. And usually the response from that runner is just, yes, but anything could go wrong at this point. Because
but
even
what
if
the next Colossus?
Yeah, it's Gaius, my warrior boy. So this Colossus, if you haven't played this game, even so, you probably have still seen art of this Colossus. It's one of the ones that figures most prominently. And he is this huge, towering figure that has a sword attached to one of his arms. So the way that you would normally beat this fight is basically he has a bunch of really brittle armor, and by getting him to break that armor, you're given an easier climb up. But what all the runners here are actually going to go for, and this is one of the big kind of make or break points in a race, is just hoping that you get this trick to keep up with time, is what we call the Gaius launch or the Space Jam. So each of them are going to set up on the bottom of the sword that this Colossus is going to bring down into the ground, and see if they can launch from the ground all the way up to the top of his head. Although, first things first, I have seen this happen in a few races before. There is a pretty big jump between this bridge that they're going to go on and the actual platform with the fight itself. So if they can clear that water without any difficulty, then they should be making good time.
It is a classic choke point in every race. Someone misses this jump and has to swim all the way back. It's one of those things that it's not hard, but you get it in your head. You go like, okay, I'm going to jump early to make sure that I grab. And you jump too early and you fall down, or you jump too late on a weird angle. And it's very annoying. One of the beautiful things for me with the Gaius launch is it's the Colossus that everyone struggles, and a lot of people actually join speedrunning because of that one, because they try to do all the time attacks and they can't do Gaius hard. It's impossible, they can't do it, and they go, let me see how the speedrunners do it. So then they come to the community, and then they see and then they ask how to do the Gaius launch. And the problem with the Gaius launch is that for every runner, it's completely different.
Everyone does it differently, and Foxy's actually just coming up on that now. And if you look at JK's screen, you'll notice that he's also shooting the belly. Let me see. Yep. Oh, that was a beautiful launch, Foxy. Well done.
Great launch.
So what you're gonna see with JK here is he was shooting the stomach of the Colossus, and basically what that does is there's another sigil right in there. So the reason for that is if you can get at least 5 arrows in the stomach before doing the launch, it saves you having to do an extra stab. So it's just a place where you can get a little bit extra type save in, and once you've gotten consistent enough with the game, it's just a place where you can win some easy time. Let me see, and we've got
Tic Tac also got it, and everyone
Aiden also got yes.
Let's
okay.
Go.
I saw Tic Tac and Aiden land that at the exact same time. Beautiful. So it looks like Tic Tac or JK and Foxy are right neck and neck, and then Tic Tac and Aiden are probably only, I want to say 10 or 20 seconds behind. So it's still a really close margin between every single runner here.
So I do want to do a quick shout out to the community that has come up, including the Japanese community. Everyone's great, and yeah. So we'll be going on to Phaedra, if you want to explain that boy.
Yes, Phaedra, are lovely. So everyone calls it a different nickname because some people think it's like a giraffe or a deer or a horse or a dragon. I will let you interpret it as you will. But that's the next Colossus we're going to be coming up on here. Very beloved within the community. And there is a whole beautiful arena that you would use if we were doing casual strats. But guess what? We're speedrunners. So we're not going to do that. What you would normally do for this fight is there's a series of tunnels. And you basically trick the Colossus into thinking you're in one place and then use the tunnels to put yourself in another. And that allows you to get on the back of the Colossus when he lowers himself to go, hey, where'd the tiny human go? And what we're going to do instead, or what the runners are going to do here, is if you launch yourself off of your horse, Agro, your wonderful companion throughout this game, if you jump while riding on Agro, it actually lets you get a little bit of extra air and launches you forward. So what the runners are going to be doing here is using the horse to just launch directly onto one of the back legs and then pop themselves onto the back without having to use any of the tunnels. So it's a beautiful area. Play the game if you ever get the chance and really explore it, but you're not going to see much of it right now.
One of the things that also occurs now that we have a bit of downtime in Shadow of the Colossus is in the PS4 version. We have discovered different strats that are either easier or can only be done either in 30 FPS or 60 FPS. Because with PlayStation 4 Pros and PS5s now, you can have the HDR on and 4K, everything's very pretty, and at 30 FPS, like the original PS4, or you can have it in what's called performance mode, which makes it 60 FPS. So all of the runners, I'm guessing, are going to go for the standard what Ruby has explained of just jumping onto the leg and then clambering your way up. But with 60 FPS, also doable on 30, but much harder, you can actually just jump and launch off because the physics are quite a bit buggier when you're at that 60 FPS. So we're going to see Foxy attempt now to climb up. So we will see that he will take the little jump up. He is now onto the back of the leg. He's going to wait for a bit and then just jump, grab, because Wanda has beautiful magnetic hands.
Yep, that was really smooth. And JK's coming up on that same trick now with Aiden and Tic Tac really closely behind. Right, and JK just got the bottom part of the leg. Let's see if he can hop up. Okay, he got a few extras. Oh! So this one, if you hear me making a little extra noise, there are some tricks where it's pretty easy to reset yourself and make sure that you can get in a solid place to recover. This is one of those tricks where in any percent, if you miss it, it is so much harder to recover because there is no easy way to like jump off a cliff and die.
You got it.
Oh, okay, good. And let's see, I see that Tic Tac just got it. Aiden's on the bottom part of the ankle. Okay, so now the three of them are all pretty neck and neck because Aiden just got that back part of the butt, so they're all really close. And Foxy just took down Phaedra. Amazing work, Foxy. He's got a solid lead there.
Yeah. So so this is going very, very well. They're still just neck and neck, and again, there's still 12 more Colossi, so many things to mess up, or hopefully not. Let's not hope ill of our runners. But you can see that they are all just right next to each other because they're all great players. And yeah, next is Barbara, right?
No, next is Avion.
Avion, that's it. I'm a speedrunner, I promise.
I would say there's actually a bit of a ride before then. So, hey, May, if you have any announcements, now would be a perfect time for that.
Sure. So we have some incentives coming up. Actually, pretty soon after this run. We have, directly after this run, the Resident Evil 4 costume choice incentive will close at the start of that run. Currently, Special 1 is winning with $65, and Default is behind at $20. So if you have a vested interest in that, get those donations in. And then later today, the Fire Emblem Awakening, good or bad ending, will be closing for that run. The bad ending is ahead with $5 to good ending $0. So if you're a fan of good and dislike bad, now's your chance to get those donations in.
Amazing. Thank you so much, May.
So Avion, not Barber. He is our lonely bird companion, even though originally it was going to be 2, but alas, only Avion lasted. Ruby, you love Avion.
I do. So, okay, this fight is really fun, but this is another make or break because it has one of the coolest tricks in the game that if it goes wrong, it goes really, really wrong. So Avion, or I have nicknames for them all. I refer to him as my birdie boy. This is a flying colossus that is over an arena of water. The reason why I say that this is a really big make or break point is we use a strategy in the speedrun community called the wing drop. So depending on if the wing goes up or down, there are different timings in which we can let go of one wing as Avion turns vertically with the wings fully out. And since there are sigils, one on either wing, you can let go of one wing and drop directly down to the other side, which is an incredible trick, saves you a ton of time versus just crawling really slowly in the fur. The problem with this trick is, again, you are over a huge body of water, so if you fall, you're going to plummet directly down below, and it's going to take you a while to recover back that time in order to get back on the Colossus. So Foxy is already in the water, and he is going to be swimming up towards these 3 platforms. This is a really exciting fight, and it goes pretty fast, so, like, don't blink or you'll miss it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One of the main things that we're going to do right now, as Ruby said, is we're going to be shooting over at Avion to just annoy him. Hey, bird, we're over here. Come pick me up. So we're going to be jumping onto Avion, and his physics are a bit weird because you are grabbing onto a very fast moving Colossi, and well, games are not.
He just got the
God.
stab on the wing. Oh my god, that was gorgeous.
So Foxy, okay.
Just
So
decided to bring it today. Okay, I see you. So that is one of the hardest tricks in the game that even some of the best runners can't pull off. And by basically doing that jump stab and then letting go right as the wing was flapping back up, he was able to not only already get the damage, but also fling himself over to the other side on the spot. And just like that, Foxy's avion is out.
We did say blink and you miss it, but my god, I did not expect that much.
Yeah, no, okay, they are bringing it for this race, y'all. Okay, and Tic Tac, JK, and Aiden are all on Avion right around the same time. So let's see how these go. All right, let's see. Tic Tac got an upwing, which is really. Oh no, he got a downwing, but got the wing drop really solidly there. So he's already on the other side.
Yeah, Avion is one of the cases in which there's a tiny bit of RNG, in which they can add unfortunate for Aiden.
No! Yeah,
and JK as well.
Oh god! So
it looks like
yeah, so JK had the downwing as well as Tic Okay, so here's what happened there, because a lot happened all at once, so just to break this down. So Tic Tac and JK both had down wings there. And what Strachey was trying to explain about the RNG is that if you get a down wing, it is a little bit harder to get that wing drop, just because the timing is a little different, and it usually only puts you on the shoulder of the other side, not all the way down to the bottom of the wing. If you get an upwing, it makes it much easier to move on to the next part of the fight and get all the way down to the opposite wing. It looked like what had happened there is JK had already gotten the wing drop and had gone to the other side, but then I think just missed while trying to get to the bottom part of that opposite wing. Aiden, it was just a miss of the wing drop, and then Tic Tac, I didn't even see. Did you get that one?
So Tic Tac was trying to grab onto the wing, and this is something I hate when the wing's going down, is that you try to grab onto the actual fur, and then Wonder will magnetize to everything that isn't the fur. So he accidentally grabbed the tip of the wing, and I believe either just tried to jump up in the wrong moment, or ran out of stamina and just went and fell into the water.
That's so unfortunate. But I will say, as far as who's going to lock in second or third place, this still keeps the other three runners pretty even. But as far as catching up with Foxy, this gives him a pretty solid lead. So that's going to be hard to make up that time.
Well, there is always time to be had, especially in the water snake that's going to be coming up later. But right now, it's Barber, the first, what I consider the only proper straight up glitch that the game has. That for some reason, when you skip the cutscene, there's an introduction cutscene every Colossi, which you usually just instantly skip. But for some reason, with Barber, this happened in the original version, and it also happens in the PS4 version. But in the PS4 version, it only is for any percent. If you skip it at the right time, you will just appear in the air. For some reason. We don't know why. I don't think we know why, but we know that if we skip at a precise time, we can directly grab onto Barber's face instead of having to do the whole... Well, the other skip that we have for Barber.
Yeah, and one of the best things about that skip is if you miss it, it literally doesn't lose you time. Like, it doesn't take time to try the skip versus a lot of other harder tricks. You're risking losing a lot of time, whereas this one, if you miss it, there's still a really great alternate strategy that it really only takes an extra 10 seconds or so. So no matter what, there's no risk to trying this trick. So if you ever want to try it at home, kids, feel free. And yep, Foxy's just now starting the fight, and let's see if he gets this skip.
especially we have to take into account that because we count time through in-game time, cutscenes don't count as in-game time because we're not controlling Wanda. Therefore, doing the skip doesn't lose us time, even if it loses real-world time. It doesn't
He got it.
the actual time that matters. And as you can see there, he just appears in front. When you get it right, it's a bit weird to understand. You just appear in his beard, but if you get it wrong, you will see just Wanda spawn in the end and fall down, and then you understand. Oh, okay. For some reason, he just starts in the air, and it's just it's weird.
Yep, and let's see.
All of the other races are currently on the. Well, we have JK and Aiden going through the forest, which is not as easy as it looks like to go quickly.
The 17th Colossus.
The secret 17th Colossus, and T-Tech is leaving the
Central Temple.
shrine.
Yeah.
You can see here Barber can be quite annoying on his back because he can just start shaking you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you can try to cancel it, but if he starts shaking, then you're just in for the ride, and Foxy's done with Barber.
Yeah, that was a really solid Barber fight. He got the head and the skip straight away, and then got a little bit of shaking on the back, but he kept on solid and still took it out in enough time that he didn't even have to worry about the stamina loss. So that's really awesome there. And then I'm really curious to see how the other runners do on this next fight. This is always a really exciting one.
So now we have a small bit of time. We can mention some smaller optimizations that the runner's also doing. One of them is trying to end with jump stabs where it's possible, because in the final hit on a Colossus, there is this epic slow motion effect that goes through that appears, and it's very pretty, and it wastes time.
It's very cinematic, though, yeah.
Very pretty, but it wastes time. And for some reason, when you defeat a Colossus with a jump stab, which is when you jump and just fall down straight into the stab, instead of grabbing on and then holding that stab, it doesn't happen. It just kills instantly. So that's one thing that every runner will try to do. Not every Colossi it can be done. Barber is very hard because we end up in the back. It's not impossible, but it's very hard. But for some, like Valus at the beginning, when we were just on top of the head and there was no shaking or anything like that, very easy to do. I believe now we're going towards
let's see,
Hydrus.
And we've got Aiden and JK about to do the skip. Let's see.
Tic Tac about to enter the area.
Aiden just got it. Nice. Also, Aiden, if you didn't think that I saw that adorable, hilarious backflip that Wander did while entering the arena, I absolutely did. And I was going to note that, but I didn't want to interrupt. It looks like JK missed the cutscene skip, but he got the really easy recovery to get onto the hand and is going to launch up. So, like, he is doing solidly there. Let's see.
He's just waiting out some shakes.
Yeah, and what's basically going to happen is, you use the wrist guard and launch up, and that was a beautiful example of that launch, and that is the strategy we normally use when doing time attacks, so well done there, JK. And then Tic Tac is just now coming up on that same glitch.
So, Hydrus now, if we move back to Foxy for a second while these boys
absolutely
continue. Hydrus is, I'd say we can say it's the hardest any percent skip in the whole run. It's if you go to a very specific spot in the arena, which is water, keep in mind. So moving around in water, it's the most precise thing. But if you manage to get, also Tic Tac managed to get the skip, which is great. If you go to a very specific spot and then do a whole bunch of very precise inputs, you can trick the game into thinking that you're on top of Hydrus's head. And because of that, Hydrus says, oh wait, if Wanda's on top of my head, if the main character's on top of my head, then I must be surfaced. So hopefully the runners will get it, and we will be able to see that Hydrus is just going to prop up, appear out of nowhere, essentially, and then we can skip the very lengthy section of chasing down Hydrus, getting its attention, getting onto the tail and running down.
Yeah, and really quickly, if you have any kind of fear of deep bodies of water, I would not recommend watching this fight. I know some people that is a phobia, so just quick warning there. And the way that I see it now, because Aiden, JK, and Tic Tac all just took out Barba, so it looks like Foxy is in first place, about to take on Hydrus, then Aiden, JK, and then Tic Tac. So, but with Aiden, JK, and Tic Tac, it is literally a 10-second difference between the three of them. So anyone could take the game at this point, really. They're all headed towards the same Colossus now, so it's a very small window. And yeah, so like Stocky said, Foxy is going to be doing 10 and a little, or sometimes people do like 9 or 11, just depending, swim animations, and hang out in the water. And if you notice that whenever a Colossus gets aggravated, their eyes turn orange, and that's what lets us know, essentially, that Wander has now grabbed their attention. So now he's going to be doing the jump stab. Oh, it looks like Foxy missed it.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, sometimes he will still stay surface just enough that you can grab onto the tail here. So let's see if Foxy's able to recover this, or if Hydrus... Yeah, okay, so he's still on the back, and Hydrus hasn't gone down deep into the water yet, so he's going to be able to actually roll up the back. Because this Colossus, you can keep moving while you're underwater, if you're using the classic control scheme.
Best control scheme.
Yep, in my opinion, it is, for sure. But everyone uses something a little different, but I'm pretty sure that Foxy is a classic controls user like us, so he's just going to be able to roll up the Colossus. Yep. Awesome. He's only got a little sliver of health, so he's probably going to hang out here just to make sure that those nodes don't shock him too much. And then probably what he's going to do here is take out that first node. Yep. Oh, no. Oh, God. You are a braver man than I, Foxy. Holy crap. Nope. So he just decided to yeet himself to jump stab, and this Colossus is going to be down in just a second.
Usually with good jump stabs, during that recovery, you can get in one of the... Well, because the reason why Foxy didn't take out the node directly is because once you take out the node, you need to... If you want to jump stab, you need to adjust your jump stabs and jump further back. So it's a lot easier to jump stab Hydra's head when the node is active. So he decided that he was confident enough. Of course, I mean, especially after seeing his Avion, that oozed confidence, he decided that he would go for one jump stab with the node active, because you know that you have enough health, then take out the node, and then do the 2 harder jump stabs to finish off Hydrus.
Yeah, which is amazing. I legitimately just didn't think he had enough health, so that... Oh, man.
You have just about enough health.
That was close. Yeah, that was absolutely... That was a beautiful recovery from Foxy, but that's also because he used the different version of the Hydra skip that's going to let the other runners regain just a little bit of time here to try and catch up.
Yeah, unfortunately, Hydra skip has different levels of how you've done it. You can do it perfectly fine, and then just, if it's great, you can do it a bit scuffed, but you can still grab on. You can miss it, but then just grab onto Hydrus, or the dreaded of you miss it and Hydrus just leaves.
Yep, and Aiden's doing it right now.
Let's hope that doesn't happen to any of the runs.
Yeah. Oh, he got the head turn here. Let's see if he can keep it.
Perfect.
Yeah, so, that was amazing from Aiden.
Aiden's recovering a lot of ground right here.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see, we are using the shock after jump stabbing him to Wander gets shocked, and he's like, ow, pain, so he just lets go, and we can jump stab faster.
That
Jake
was
coming up.
Yeah, that was a perfect
got
from Aiden. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if he can get these jump stabs.
One fun little thing about Hydra skip is that if you see Hydra's nod, because he kind of like moves his head, if you see Hydra's nod, you actually manage to get the skip. If he doesn't nod, then it's a bit more dicey.
Yep, JK's just went down. He had a little bit of stubbornness from Hydras right at the beginning, but recovered that really quickly. So solid job. And he's coming up just behind Aiden, who's going to be able to regain some time. As Foxy is headed towards Colossus number 8, Kuramori. It looks like, let's see. So, yep, Tic Tac is using the adjustment and is just on the tail of Hydras. So let's see him finish this off.
He's going to be switching to the classic controls, which I said before, of being able to roll through, because pausing doesn't count for time, so you can switch these things and it doesn't actually penalize you at the end of the run, which is what matters.
Amazing. Yeah.
So Kuramori, he's a calm one. In normal difficulty, he is about the easiest Colossi out there. So long as you know that you can just jump straight down and Wander's legs are just made of steel or adamantium, so he can just survive, you have more than enough time to deal with all of the damage that you have to deal.
All right, and Tic Tac just took out the first node since his health was running a little low, but he got a jump stab right at first, and he's just got one more hit. Yep, and his Hydras is out, so he's still making really good time here. And yep, so Foxy's coming up on this fight, so let's see how he does here. So yeah, what he's gonna do, like Stocky was mentioning, at the very beginning of the fight, he's gonna whistle just to get the Colossus's attention, so that Kuramori starts climbing up, going, "Oh hey, Wander's here." But what Foxy's actually gonna do instead is there's this big open area on the floor directly below, and since Kuramori thinks we're in a different spot, that gives us the perfect timing to shoot out the legs. Yep, I understand the stubbornness with the arrows there, Foxy. But now that Kuramori has fallen down, the higher up on the wall Kuramori falls from, the more time he's going to stay down. On normal, we really only as speedrunners need him to be about halfway up the wall in order to be able to take out the sigils fully. On hard mode, we need a little bit more time than that. But it looks like he's just going to need to do the final jump stab. And just like that, Kuramori's down. This is a good, breathing place on the Colossus, because once you actually understand how the fight functions, there are very few ways for it to go truly horribly wrong. But it's a much easier fight than a lot of the others, where there are so many outside factors that could influence the mistakes in the fight.
Yeah. If you want to talk a bit more while we let the runners deal with this more relaxed Colossi.
Sure thing. We have a couple donations. We have $10 from Jordan97, who says, "Loving the hype commentary. Hope the runners have great luck for the rest of the run." And we have $1 from Usurpering, who says, "$1 for Foxy's Mega Chad jump stab. Can I get a hooyah?"
Hooyah!
Hooyah!
You can. Hooyah.
I was not going to let that hang.
I was worried for a second.
No.
We just had to warm up, you know?
Even in the chat, Yusu, boo-boo, I will never leave you hanging. All right. So let's see. It looks like... all right, so those three are still coming up on this Kuramori fight, as Foxy is headed to Basaran. And Stocky, I'm going to let you explain this one, because I have too much vehement rage to be able to explain it calmly.
we all have it, but...
Yeah.
Essentially, so Basaran is going to be our second physics exploit, or big physics exploit of the game. First one was, of course, the Space Jam with Gaius, but with Basaran, what we're going to be doing is it's the big turtle, and as everyone has suffered that has ever played this game, the geysers just don't work. They don't hit. They don't flip him over. It's really slow as well. So what the runners are going to be doing, and what we do as speedrunners, is we are going to use that same height we got from Phaedra jumping off of Aggro to jump onto Basaran's leg, and then while he does his animation to get on his hind legs to just slam down, we can do a precise side jump to launch ourselves straight up onto the head. Hopefully we won't be able. Hopefully we won't have to see it. But this is also one of the first places where we can take those tactical deaths we were talking about before, in which it's just so much easier to just kill, wander, and then reset because resetting will always put you at the exact same spot, and everything will be very consistent. So we'll be seeing the Bassaran launch from Foxy right now.
All right, let's see. Good luck, Foxy.
So we got onto the leg.
All right. Oh, beautiful side jump from Foxy, and a jump stab directly onto that sigil. So he's gonna be set here. Yep, and one thing you'll notice is this is a Colossus where you want to get in as many stabs as possible, as close to the beginning as you can, because for the first half of the Colossus's damage, he's going to keep doing that animation of swinging the head all the way back and all the way forward, which makes it essentially impossible to hold on to a plant. But once you get past that halfway point of the Colossus's health, then he swings side to side instead, which allows you to hold that plant, and just like that, Foxy's Bassaran is down. Well done, Foxy. Heck yeah. So holding on to that solid lead there.
Yeah, because unfortunately plants only really work in a horizontal surface. Once the Colossus gets too vertical, one just can't hold on. The exploit only works so far. And yeah, and we have right now we have JK and Aiden also going towards Bassaran, and Tic Tac's finishing off Kuromari. Again, there's still a ton of time, even though you think like, boy, but we're already halfway through. The second half's worse. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There are some Colossi that we all as a community love, and then there are some that we all as a community kind of viscerally scream at. So Bassaran is one of the ones with visceral screams, and then a few Colossi ahead, we have more of those, especially number 12. But let's see. So, yep, it looks like Aiden is just now entering the area with Bassaran, and it's going to take Foxy a minute to get to Dirge, so I'm going to let that lie so that we can watch and see how the other runners do on that leg launch. So good luck, Aiden.
Definitely. We do have a few strategies to help us in any percent to do the Bassaran launch better and other launches, but without the timer especially, it can be quite hard. A bit of a regrab, but perfect launch for Aiden in the end.
Awesome. Yep, he got up there and is already doing a few stabs to the sigil. So he's in really solid shape right now to hold on to that second place. And JK's just now coming up on the launch, so let's see how he does. Good luck, JK. All right, and
He jumps up. He's onto the leg.
Uh-huh.
Quite late onto the leg, but still, it all works. Nope. And that's our third Bassaran leg launch.
That was beautiful. Good job, JK. That was fantastic. And he's adding in some of those jump stabs because, again, getting in as many stabs as possible in this early part as quickly as you can so you don't have to deal with that back and forth is really important. So he's already in really good shape just to stay in the plant and get the rest of the stabs.
So while Tic Tac continues towards Bassaran and Foxy continues towards Dirge, we can explain one cycling, which is
that comes up a lot in the second half of the game.
It does really just pop up. Do you want to explain it, Ruby?
Oh, sure. I didn't mean to steal that.
No, shoot.
Yeah, okay, so there are several Colossi coming up where we are going to be referring to what is called one cycling, as Stocky mentioned. So basically what that means is if you notice in some video games, you'll be doing damage to a monster or a boss, and then at a certain point, they will in some way recover or throw you off and reset back to the first animation cycle. So like if you think back to Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, throwing the bomb into Dodongo's stomach and then doing damage before he goes back in the lava. So it's similar to that. What we're going to be looking for on these one cycles is there are ways that we have found to get in all of the damage needed to kill a Colossus before it can throw you off or reset to the beginning of the animation cycle. And Dirge, the Colossus that Foxy is coming up on now, is one of those Colossi where we are going to have to do a very specific amount of damage to each sigil in order to make sure to get that one cycle. Because if we don't, then one of the runners could basically get thrown off of the Colossus if they overstab or understab on the first sigil, and Dirge will go back into the sand and it'll restart that cycle all over again, and it takes twice as much time since you're essentially doing the Colossus fight twice instead of once, if you just think about it in those terms.
Yeah.
So,
and one of the things that we have to take into account with the Colossus is one thing that I didn't know that was true until I tried to speedrun the game, is that actually you don't have to defeat the sigils. This is the whole point of one cycle. You don't have to defeat sigils. You need to deal enough damage. You'd think that with also Tic Tac got passed around perfectly fine.
all 4 of them got Basuran jump. That's incredible.
Great. So because we don't have to deal all of the because we don't have to get rid of the sigils, we can deal all of the damage without destroying the sigils and causing the cycle to continue. And you'd say how? Well, most of the one cycles happen because we have to shoot the Colossi with an arrow. Also, Foxy had that beautiful
Just
one cycle.
got it. Yep. Beautiful one cycle.
So because we have to shoot the Colossi with an arrow, that deals damage, and with Dirge, it's the most extreme case in which it deals just enough of damage that you can just about kill Dirge without him going down, because once you defeat one of the sigils, he goes down into the sand again and just sneaks off.
Yeah, and one thing also that's really important to keep in mind with doing these one cycles is sometimes if you do just a little bit less damage than it actually takes to destroy the sigil, it'll allow you to avoid certain animation cycles. So not just the Colossus throwing you off and going back into the sand or this, that, and the other, but there's one Colossus where if you make sure to stab just under, it not only gives you more time on the internal timer that the Colossus uses until it'll reset, but it also prevents it from doing barrel rolls or all sorts of other more aggressive animations. So those one cycles for several of the Colossi are coming up are going to be extremely important. But again, Foxy had an incredible one cycle there and is now headed towards one of the small boys, one of my favorites, Celosia. But I'm going to wait. I want to turn attentions towards the Dirge fight since it's going to take Foxy just a second to get there. And Aiden is pulling up on Dirge right now. So here, I'm going to let you go ahead because for some reason my browser decided to reset.
Yeah, no problem. So we can see Aiden. We can give it a bit more of a play-by-play now that Aiden's about to get there. So we will go into not really a specific spot, but a general area where we are comfortable with. And then once Dirge just kind of goes into sand, we're going to start a quick run. Basically bounce off this pillar, and then get ourselves into a position where we can shoot Dirge as fast as possible for him to hit the nearest possible wall, hopefully. And shoot his eye.
There it is.
Perfect. So Aiden got the shot into the eye, and we can see that the health isn't full. So now Aiden is going to be jumping onto the back sigil, and then dealing, I believe it's 2 stabs, and then a 30-40% stab to be able to do it.
Okay.
That looks...
It looks pretty good.
Possible? I'm not sure.
Let's see. I think he's good there. And JK's just coming up and doing that stab now. And while that's happening, Foxy is starting to pull up pretty close to this fight. So, Stocky, would you like to explain Celosia?
Yes, my favorite little boy.
Yes!
Celosia is one of the 2 small dog cat-like colossi, in which it's a lot smaller. It's not much bigger than Wanda himself. And for Celosia specifically, the small little boy is unfortunately scared of fire. So usually what you would have to do is you would have to crash. Ooh, he missed the jump. That's fine.
Yep.
It's not a massive time loss. Usually,
Also, JK got one quick meme stab, but other than that, his dirt was really solid, and TikTok is just pulling up on that fight now. But go ahead and keep explaining Celosia. I just wanted to get that update.
perfect. So usually you would have to make Celosia crash onto the little like idols, and then very eco-like pick up the stick, light it on fire, and then just kind of scare him away. But we can kind of abuse how he works and just get the stick on fire, go straight to the edge, drop it down, and then Celosia says, "Oh, there is no fire because it's not in Wanda's hand, therefore it doesn't exist." And then when he's about to hit us, we can pick up the fire stick again. And when he's right next to the edge, he says, "Oh, there's fire. Oh no." And then he enters his panic state within the trigger of the cutscene of him falling down, and he just falls down. And it's a lot faster, and we'll be seeing Foxy do it right now. So we just drop the stick, wait for a bit. Sometimes it takes 1 or 2 tries.
There it is, amazing.
And
And he can be on. So this fall, sometimes Celosia will knock you to the first floor that Foxy just ended up on, which is exactly where we prefer to be. But if you're on the very ground level, you have to kind of go away from the Colossus first and then come back up, or else you won't be in the right positioning to directly mount the Colossus's back. But just like that, Foxy took out Celosia.
and TikTok took out Dirge as well.
Oh, amazing. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so TikTok is still keeping up pretty solidly with JK and Aiden, so they're all still within like, I want to say 20 or 30 seconds each.
I'd say they're all within 20-30 seconds. You do have to take into account Foxy has much faster loads because of his PS5.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh.
Foxy does have a PS5, so he has faster loads all round. And as you can see, between Colossus, there are a sizable amount of loads. Because you can see that Foxy and TikTok finished at the same time, but Foxy's out of the loading zone much faster.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that. So the IGTs are really what's going to decide it here. Everyone is doing so well in this race so far. So well done to our runners. And we are now headed with Foxy. Internal crying. Towards Pelagia. So this Colossus, oh boy. Oh boy. You know what? Before we actually get into that, hey May, do we have any announcements or donations?
We sure do.
Yes! Hit us with it.
Let me just give us a quick refresh. That's my internet. Oh, come on. No!
Oh no!
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding?
No,
Alright, well,
tell us.
immediate cursed by my internet. But I'll take a moment to talk about the charity itself. Rise Above the Disorder is a nonprofit dedicated to battling the 2 greatest barriers to mental health care, access and affordability. To accomplish their mission, they provide a universal mental health care system to people around the world. Too many people can't afford mental health care. We're working to change that. If you believe in a world where everyone has access to the hope, health, and happiness they deserve, you are rad.
It's an incredible cause, so if anyone has a few dollars to throw the way of the channel, whether it be with a sub or a donation, it really goes a long way. Okay, so it looks like Aiden and JK just got the torches and are about to get towards that same glitch zone with Celosia, so let's see how they do here.
They both got bonked down to the first floor, which is exactly what you wanted from this.
Amazing, amazing, amazing.
That's perfect. And Pelagia, the freakish Colossus with teeth on his head.
Okay, so unfortunately, so actually, JK may have just taken a lead there. Aiden jump stabbed down, but then ended up on the armor instead of the fur and has been knocked off Celosia. So this is one where if you get knocked off this Colossus, the small boys move much faster than any of the other Colossi. And if they hit you, it's immediately going to stun lock you. So Aiden is doing something really smart here of just trying to get to the butt and remount. Sometimes what we call Wander's magnet
Ooh,
hands. Yep,
there you go.
there it is. So basically, sometimes if you are close enough to a ledge that is grabbable or a surface that is grabbable, but not quite there, if you hit the grab button, Wander's AI will be, or the controls will basically say, oh, okay, that's where I should be. And he'll just magnetize to that surface to grab on. So that's what Aiden was using there to make sure he didn't get stun locked by Celosia and didn't lose too much time. So he was able to magnet hands on and take out Celosia. So a really well done recovery there, Aiden. All right, and now Foxy is headed up towards Colossus number 12, Pelagia. This is one of the other ones that's the bane of everyone's existence in the speedrunning community, because this one, no matter how well you get to know this Colossus fight, no matter how much you think you've memorized its patterns, sometimes she'll just decide to do something else, cause. What's going to happen here is this Colossus has a set of teeth on its head, and what is actually intended for this Colossus by the designers is that you hit those with your sword, and that allows you to control the direction that the Colossus is going to move in. So what Foxy's going to do is shoot the face a couple of times so that Pelagia turns towards him, and he's going to use that time as Pelagia's head bows here in order to grab, nicely done, directly onto the head. And now that he is right there, he's going to be able to stab these teeth, and that's going to allow him to get onto a platform. Now, Pelagia's sigil is on his stomach. So what is going to happen is once Foxy mounts this platform, and once the runners mount the platform, they will be able to grab onto the face, which normally you have to hide in order to activate this animation cycle. However, if you jump onto the head, it activates Pelagia jumping up so you can get to the sigil. And now for this, in order to one cycle, you have to do a full stab, a 95% stab, and then 2 more full stabs. And beautifully done by Foxy. That was a fantastic Pelagia. Immediately mounted the head, got over to the platform, and one cycled it. It's very specific timing and amount of damage that needs to be dealt. So getting that, I feel like for any runner is always a huge relief. So fantastic work.
You also need to be in a specific position, because after the first stab you can get shaken and just waste time. And there's not much time to be wasted. When it comes to Pelagia. And one thing that Odawara has little mentioned here is that Tic Tac managed to stay up top when he defeated Celosia. And some reason in that case, Wanda has no collisions. So Celosia just goes through Wanda. And that's just a little funny. It's not fast, but it's quite funny.
That's fantastic, though. So amazing job, Tic Tac, in finishing that Colossus. It looks like JK is coming up right in the arena now, and then Aiden and Tic Tac are pretty close en route. And the other thing, as far as the positioning, just backtracking for a minute, if you are a little too left or right on the sigil, so as Stocky mentioned, if you're too high up on the sigil or low on the sigil, you can get swung around, and that prevents you from having enough time to stab. But if you're too far left or right, the other thing that can happen is sometimes you will get what are called meme stabs, where even though you may think that you're directly on top of a sigil, for some reason, it'll do no damage, because sometimes with the Colossi, as they move around, their hitbox will actually shift underneath them. So I know Pelagia, this happens quite a bit, as well as the second Colossus, Quadratus. Yeah,
the worst part with Pelagia meme stabs isn't that you're going to go to stab and then it meme stabs. Is that you stab once, it works perfectly fine. You go for the second stab and it does nothing. And you're like, okay, well, that's it, I guess. And I'm just not destined to one cycle with Pelagia today. It's not going to happen. We can see that JK unfortunately missed the jump onto the head, but you can just swim around Pelagia. Not that much of a time loss. Swim around Pelagia, jump up its ribs, and then you're already straight up on top. We can
That's so
see.
dumb. I've never seen someone roll up the ribs like that before. Taking notes.
No, that was one of the things that I first learned. I was like, oh wait, you can do that? I thought you had to go all the way behind and like climb up, which I guess it's the actual way of doing it. But you can just jump on the ribs apparently.
That's fantastic. Oh, that's also unfortunate. So, as we mentioned, sometimes you'll do something with a Colossus, and normally they will do X thing, but sometimes the Colossus will just say, no, I don't want to do that. And JK jumped directly onto the face of Pelagia, which normally should activate that jumping up onto the platform, but Pelagia just decided that she wasn't going to have that today. So JK's going to have to take a little bit more time here to recover that and get Pelagia's attention again.
Quickly moving to Foxy because he's right on there. He's actually going to be trying to do
God. Yep, go for it.
Phalanx. He's currently on Phalanx, which is one of the most beloved cross-eyed, but what he's currently doing is hopefully, I think he missed the second shot. He missed the second shot. Or not? He missed the first shot, that's the one he missed. Well, it gives him more time at least. So with Phalanx, he has three big sacks. You want to shoot them down, and then Phalanx comes down, and you jump onto its weird wings, and then you've got three sigils that you have to stab. I think the intended way of doing it, Aiden's done with Pelagia, by the way, amazing.
Nice.
The intended way that you're meant to do it, I think, is that you're meant to do one sigil, get off Phalanx, another sigil, get off Phalanx, another sigil. But we can one cycle it easily. It's one of the easier one cycles by doing like one full stab and like a 0.75, 0.8% in the first two, and then just full stab the other two, because of the 3 full charge shots that you had to do on the sacks. You deal quite a bit of damage to Phalanx, so it just allows you to do a very easy, calm one cycle.
Yeah, and if you do too much damage on one of the sigils here, the thing that really stinks is it won't even give you a possibility of recovering that time. Basically what will happen is if you see these flaps that are just above each sigil, those will close, so you literally have no way to stab it, and then Phalanx will go all the way back down into the sand. But Foxy has done a beautiful job here, and just like that, Phalanx is down!
So, very unfortunate for JK. Pelagia is not only is it one of the harder one cycles, it's also one of the most punishing Colossi. JK unfortunately didn't manage to get Pelagia doing the right thing at the beginning, and then after that, once he finally got it into the right place, he didn't get the one cycle, unfortunately, and now Pelagia is just giving him the cold shoulder. And this is Pelagia, unfortunately. JK Tic Tac did manage to do it perfectly, which is great to see.
Yeah, that's a great time recovery for him. And honestly, this is just, it very much does help encapsulate what the community generally sees and the attitude towards this Colossus, because again, it's a very, very hard fight. I cannot stress that enough, but JK is going to do everything he can to recover this time here.
Wait, am I the only speedrunner here that doesn't know that you can shoot Pelagia's teeth to move him? You can shoot them?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know you could shoot them. Okay, well, the more you know.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but wait, what? You can shoot them?
You can shoot them?
That's crazy. I've never seen that before.
Every time we do a major marathon, one of us discovers something that we never knew about. So, like, I discovered that you can pet the horse during GDQ, during this, that you can run up, and then you two discovering that we just teach each other so much as a community.
Well,
can I just say that me, as the guy who struggles to get on aggro, I knew that. Just saying.
Come on.
Hey, listen.
Wow, Tar, you're so cool.
It's okay. I can't do Gaius or stab, move, wander.
It's fine. I like learning new things. I'm okay with the fact that I had that like blind spot of knowledge. But all right, let's see. Getting back into the run. So we've got Tic Tac. Aiden's on the phalanx fight, so he's still pretty solidly in second. Or so we theorize at this moment. Again, we don't know for sure. And then Tic Tac is coming up pretty close behind, headed towards that phalanx arena, and JK is just in the shrine now, going to be headed that direction. And then Foxy is headed towards my favorite Colossus.
Zenobia.
Zenobia. The other small boy, my good guard dog boy. So, hey, for anyone who may have the emote for Zenobia, drop those in the chat, please.
Those Cenobabies.
All the Cenobabies. So, Zenobia, much like Celosia, is I say guard dog, but is a much smaller Colossus. And it's going to take a bit for us to get there. So let me see.
What I would say first for saying Zenobia is we haven't explained because none of the runners have gone it yet. Tic Tac's on it right now. Oh, but he missed the first shot, I believe. Is all of the runners are actually going for individual level strats in Phalanx. So because recently it's been found out that with well, actually, I don't think it's that recently. It's been a couple months since it. But in the individual level for Phalanx, if you manage to shoot the sacks at the correct timing and fast enough, he would take a nosedive completely, and then you can jump directly onto. Not only can you get there faster. Tic Tac just about managed to recover.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Tic Tac almost fell off that wing, but thank goodness for the second wing. Had a beautiful recovery there. Sorry to cut you off, Stocky, but I wanted to make sure to highlight that. That was gorgeous. All right, please keep going.
Yeah. So not only does Phalanx dive down much earlier, but he does on so that we can just jump on. And in the past couple months, I think it's been like 3-4 months. I'm not sure. The runners, Sean, starting at the current record holder, he was the first person to start introducing individual level strats for Phalanx because you can get that. It's kind of rough, kind of hard, but you can actually get that straight dive in any percent, and now it's become a lot more commonplace. So try to do it because even if you mess it up, you can. It still is faster than how we used to do it. Which is just kind of casually just get there and just shoot it quickly.
Yeah, in the any percent run for sure. And really quickly, just for people who may be unfamiliar with the game, to explain that. So the any percent runs are basically from start to finish playing the entire game. But once you've beaten it the first time, if you just want to do time attacks for each of the individual colossi, you can actually do that. And it's a whole speedrun category in and of itself where people will go for really insane and amazing strategies. But some of them do work in the any percent runs and some don't. But this is one of those IL strats that we've been able to carry over into the any percent runs because it is a pretty easy recovery and it is something that actually functions. There are some that just straight up do not function in the any percent run that work in ILs and vice versa. Like in the IL for Barba, the 6th Colossus, for example, you can't do that cutscene skip. It won't actually land you on the beard. But in the any percent, it works perfectly.
But Zenobia. We're coming up on Zenobia.
Okay, so
your favorite.
So this Colossus, oh dear, he is. So what's going to happen is if you see all of these pillars across the landscape, normally what you would have to do is not get Zenobia to knock all of these over and essentially make a bridge for yourself until you can get to the final platform to knock off Zenobia's armor. What's going to happen instead is Foxy is going to head for this final pillar. And there are two different strategies that can be employed here. The first one is called a super jump, where if he lands in the right place right next to the pillar and spams the jump button as quickly as possible, and he just got it, amazing. That's what we call the super jump. So if you hit the jump button as quickly as you can, it'll launch Wander directly upwards, and then you can just grab on and keep moving. So that allows us to do it much faster than having to collapse all of those pillars on the way there. Now, from here, he's going to be trying to jump through this bridge as it collapses.
Ooh, I think he bumped on the bridge.
Let's see. Yep, he did. So if you jump through the right place there, you can land on this cliff right beside it, and that allows you to more easily jump onto this platform. But he's going to get the adjusted wacky jump here. So he's just going to the cliff on his own and is going to use that to jump over to the platform. Got that. And now he's just going to shoot Zenobia to get his attention. And Zenobia is now going to treat this middle platform as if it's one of those pillars. That's going to knock down onto Zenobia's armor. And once that gets knocked out, that'll give Foxy a perfect window of opportunity and the other runners, once they get to this fight, to see the open, exposed sigil and be able to just stab it all the way home from there. So slightly missed the wacky jump, but got the adjusted and got the super jump right away. So well done there, Foxy.
So one thing to take into he got meme jump stab. That's interesting. But one thing to take into account right now is that all runners are still on the exact same Colossus at different points, but like still, it's been what, a whole hour, and they're all, even with some hiccups and misses here and there, they're all still on the exact same Colossus, which just shows that Shadow, especially in a race setting, it can go anywhere. Until the end, you just don't know.
Yeah, and one thing I will say that's been really incredible just about this community, to talk about that for a minute, is like I know Stocky and I, as well as JK, we were relatively new to this community and joined after like Tic Tac and Aiden and Foxy and all of these other runners. But throughout the course of pandemic, all of us have just really come together, and the times on the chart overall have gotten so much better with how much time has been dedicated to it in the past year, and just seeing everyone being able to maintain that time and stay this close neck and neck is just a showcase of how incredible all of these runners are. So seriously, well done to everyone. And hey, to all of the members of the Team Eco community who are in the chat, whether you run Eco, Last Guardian, Shadow of the Colossus, we adore every single one of you, and thank you for being here.
We're all one big, massive, loving family, and if anyone's interested, come join. We have a ton of resources for new players.
Yes, join us. We're all really inclusive and friendly and have great memes. Yes. Anyway, so let's see. It's like a foster home for fast people.
Exactly.
I agree. Yeah, we're just a bunch of really loving geeks. So come on over to the Discord. And even if you're not a speedrunner, if you just like watching this kind of content or hanging out with a community that adores these games maybe as much as you do, then you should definitely come on over. It's just a really wonderful group of people. All right, let's see. Oh, and Foxy is now headed towards... Oh, wait, actually, before we do that, because he's still got some time. Yeah, I would say, hey, May, are there any other announcements that need to be read out or anything like that? This would be a good time for that.
There are, and I have working internet this time.
Yes!
That's exciting. We have $20 from Thar, who says, I'm a little late on this, but donating $5 times 4 for each Bassaran kill, because no one likes that turtle and his dumb geysers. Smiley face.
Yes, Thar. Thank you so much.
Amazing.
Okay.
So we are currently coming up on Argus, my best friend. Yeah. Argus.
You didn't say that with any sarcasm at all.
No. I truly love that. So, Argus, second to last Colossus. Do you remember what we did on Bassman? Well, let's make it harder. That's essentially what this Colossus is. He usually you'd have to like climb up and bait him into kicking and punching stuff and breaking down bridges, and nobody cares about that. It takes so long. So what we're going to be doing, or the runners are going to be doing, is during one of his attacks, which is a foot stomp, we jump onto the leg of Argus, and then from the leg we go straight onto his hand. Because even though you usually have to shoot his arm, so he lets go of his hand, there is just about enough space. Also, Tic Tac, great super jump, nice and quick.
Amazing.
Even though usually you would have to make him let go of the weapon, there's just enough space to shoot him. So what we're gonna be, so the runners are gonna be doing, they're gonna be jumping from the leg onto the hand, stabbing the hand out, getting back on the leg, and then when Argus is about to start walking again, we're gonna do like Bassaran, in which we're gonna do a very precise side jump to mess with the physics and launch ourselves straight up onto the head. And within reason, even though I hate it, it doesn't punish much, because right behind Argus there's a big cliff in which we can do one of our tactical deaths.
Mm-hmm. So if for some reason a runner were to miss a moment of this, because this is another one of those if you blink you will miss it kind of fights, if you get everything solid, you can do it in 30 or 40 seconds. It's kind of nuts. So if something goes wrong in that very, very short window of time, all you have to do is throw yourself off of the cliff, and then it resets you exactly where you need to start the fight. So, like
JK just got Kaze jump, actually, which is
nice.
The backup for it. But
yeah,
Argus.
So one thing that's cool about that backup jump is it utilizes and abuses that same thing that we were talking about before with those magnet hands, of being able to get onto one of the bridges a little easier. It looks like Foxy just missed Argus the first time. So unfortunately, if you grab onto the bracelet rather than the fur, it's extremely difficult to actually get back in the hand. And even if you do, a lot of times Argus will start a really annoying walking animation all the way to the other side of the arena, and the arena, as you saw, is huge. But it looks like this time he got the fur.
Too high up.
No, he was too high up and got a meme stab, so he's gonna have to try this one more time. Come on, Foxy, you got this.
So JK's managed to knock down Zenobia. Aiden's riding towards Argus, and Tic Tac is currently loading in. So here's where we see the tactical deaths. Pardon me, that luckily we didn't have to see with Bassaran, but Argus is the other one that does have the very easy tactical deaths, in which it's just a straight jump down. So to grab onto the hand, usually you would also abuse those magnet hands. You kind of jump past the hand and then grab, and you just pop straight onto there.
Just got it. And now we're gonna see. Let's see.
And we launch.
Yeah, beautiful launch from Foxy. Now he's just got to finish the head sigil, and he's going to be all set to go here on Argus. This is one of those places in the run. This is really a run killer, and when you're this close to the end, I have had so many PBs that were going so well that then died on this Colossus, and I feel like everyone can kind of tell the same story. No matter how good you get at this fight, sometimes it can be really hard to pull it off because of how specific every single input is here. So that was a really well done recovery from Foxy. Still holding on to that lead here. And Aiden is coming pretty close to the arena now. JK was able to finish up that 14th Colossus fight, so really well done there, JK. So yeah, everyone is within the same Colossus. Foxy's just now going to be loading into the shrine, but the final Colossus is the longest travel time, so we're going to be able to focus in on these Argus fights for the other three runners for a bit, which is beautiful.
I'm still 100% sure if Zenobia or Malice is. I think they're very, very close. It's because it's two different directions. Like I don't know if Zenobia. I do have around there. I have clips of how long each ride is, but I think it might be Malice. Even though it doesn't feel like it. I don't know if it's because it's the high of about to end the run that Malice feels a lot shorter than Zenobia. Because like you're kind of dreading going to Zenobia. You're dreading that you have Argus after that. But then when you're riding towards Malice, you've already done Argus. You've got everything behind you, and unless you're Tic Tac, Malice is easy.
And really quickly, we love Tic Tac.
We do.
We say this with affection. There is a meme that has started in this community and is blown up to the point where it is now like a term in the community. So the final Colossus, Tic Tac is the world record holder for any percent hard, is a brilliant runner of this game, and has done a ton of community work with like organizing the big races, helping make sure that the Discord is all kept up to track, giving announcements for when people are doing runs. But for some reason, on any percent normal, there have been so many runs, and also I think on Boss Rush, there have been so many runs where he's on world record pace or on PB pace, and then he gets to the final Colossus and something goes horribly wrong. I have seen him get flung from the hand. I have seen him with the barriers get like half stuck in them, so it was impossible.
He managed. This all started from he was in a PB pace for a couple minutes, and he actually managed to soft lock himself in Malice, which we did not know was a thing until he got it in the PB pace, because of course it always is during PB paces when you find these catastrophic
yeah but I will say there are some other glitches that will pop up in the community that some that we're a little more affectionate towards. So for example, with the Force Colossus Phaedra, there is a butt glitch where the ladder on the back half of the Colossus will just kind of flap up and down as quickly as possible. It's a little terrifying, but very funny when it happens. And it looks like Aiden, Aiden got it. Was that first try?
I believe that was first try, yeah.
That's incredible. Well done there, Aiden. And
Tic Tac was right behind him, and he's just started the fight.
Yep. So let's see how Tic Tac does. Okay, he got into that hand. Let's see if he's too high up or if he's going to be able to.
That's too high up, I believe. Yep.
Oh, yeah, he's getting those swings. Yeah, this isn't. I think he's still trying to hold on here and see if he can get it before Argus starts the walking animations. And he got another swing, which.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. He might get it.
Although,
he's
nice. Getting very lucky that Argus is not walking away. I'm surprised. I was expecting at any moment to him just start just leaving, but he didn't.
Usually he'll only do that swing animation of the hand once, but getting it 2 or 3 times gives you enough time to lower yourself on the fur and recover. So well done there, Tic Tac, taking advantage of that.
Also, we are going to be.
He's got space cam! Oh no! So, okay, here's the problem with the physics abuse launch. Sometimes, rather than popping you directly up to the head, he'll just kind of launch you in an arc outwards. My community has started calling it space camp, just because you fly through the air without any general idea of actually what's happening. But let's see.
You can just about recover it if you're fast enough, but it's not something to expect. It's when you do it a bit too late, so his leg is up top at the apex of the leg movement, so you just get too much speed. But I think he managed to grab on perfectly fine this time. Yeah.
Yep, and so one thing that I just need to note, Foxy is headed up towards Malice now, and his aggro just fell down the pitch. I'm gonna just really quickly, for anyone who may have triggers about animals dying, it seems like the horse is dead. In the chat, I promise you the horse is not actually dead. I will not spoil and say how, in case you haven't played the game. You should play the game, but the horse is not actually dead, so don't worry.
Yeah. So if you think that we are monsters because we are happy that Aggro's dead, she's not dead. That's why we are happy. Yeah. Totally. So it isn't because we hate her or anything like that. It's because she's still alive.
Mm-hmm. Yep. and also we salute and thank her for her service. All right, let's see. So
everyone's on my list.
Yeah, so JK just hit the final stab on Argus and he's coming down. Aiden is headed towards the part between the mountains. Tic Tac is just going to be loading into the shrine, and Foxy's coming into this fight. So, Stock, you want to go for it?
Malice, my favorite to perform. This looks very impressive, but honestly, ask any speedrunner, and we'll say the casual way of getting towards Malice is a lot harder than this. It looks very hard, but it's just knowing what you're doing. We can abuse the ground near us, like small elevation differences and walls, stuff like that, to walk right behind it. So like that, Malice's aimbot shots are actually a bit off tune, so he usually shoots at your feet, and because of the geometry near us, it doesn't hit. So, and now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be climbing up, as we do normally in Malice, but instead of doing the whole boring thing of getting from one hand to the shoulder and then from the shoulder to the other hand,
there are
and
like
stuff like that.
5 sigils you have to hit with the back and the arms and the shoulders.
It's so boring. We just jump up. We just go from hand. We go straight to the head. And time is not when you defeat Malice. There is a bit after that, just so that is known.
Yes.
So GGs do come out after Malice, but there's still a bit more for the actual time.
Once he gets past Malice, we'll let you know when the actual timer will, quote unquote, stop for Foxy. But again, we won't actually know what the final times are until we get those IGTs.
So we can see that Foxy did also early arrow, which is harder. And then we get on the hand, and this is a very small little physics abuse in which he's moving the hand up, we jump, and then we just get flat.
Yeah.
And now we just grab it straight to the end.
Beautiful from Foxy. Beautiful climb up, and didn't get hit at all on the run up. Sometimes you can get hit once or twice on that run up if you aren't in exactly the right position or don't move quickly enough. But it's pretty easy to recover that. It just leaves you a few extra seconds. But that was incredible Malice start to finish from Foxy, and just like that, he's down. And Aiden, we all salute your aggro. Thank you for your service.
Next one, please.
Yeah, right. Next aggro, give us your horse offerings. What? But yeah, he's gonna be headed up towards Malice next. It looks like.
Foxy's
getting gosh, Foxy!
Yeah, Foxy likes.
Oh no!
Foxy's doing that. Even though it technically loses time, it does look cool.
It does look very cool.
So time will end after this section in which, surprise, surprise, Dormin didn't really lie to us. He actually wasn't lying. But you do kind of, turn into Dormin. Okay, so Dormin takes control of your body, and now you're controlling Dormin. And we have a small little section here in which the TLDR priests come, bad boy, and then they're just gonna seal him up again. And Fox is gonna give us some Vape Nation, maybe.
Maybe, we'll see. Also, just as a quick note, Dormin is the god that I was talking about earlier that has the power to bring people back from the dead, and he says from the very beginning, or they say from the very beginning, because speaks with a male and female voice simultaneously, and speaks with we pronoun. But this, basically from the very beginning of the game, says, hey, Wander, just so you know, if you use my power, it's gonna take a toll on you. And by the end of the game, his skin is completely white and ashen. His his veins just completely pop out. If you get close enough,
Vape Nation!
You're gonna see. There's Vape Nation, amazing.
It's a blue raspberry flavor.
Yes, and the time is gonna need to be hit for Foxy when or for however you're doing the timer. So
the best will be after everyone's done.
Okay, got it. Okay. But it would be once the final person hits the pool of water. That's what activates the final cutscene. So you can see as an example, once Foxy hits the pool here, then that marks the official end of the game. So let's see.
Who's saying for the other 3 runners, can we get a levitating Dormin? And also, GG's Foxy. Amazing.
GG's Foxy, awesome job.
Time is a 1:25:29 RTA. 20? 1:25:20 for Foxy timed himself. GG's.
No,
we have a very generous estimate of 1:45.
Yeah, so 1:25:30 is what it looked like on my side for Foxy. So as far as the real time, so amazing job. And now let's go ahead and see how the other runners do.
See that Aiden's also on the early arrow.
Yep, and Foxy is in the chat literally saying, I could have been behind or ahead. And that's what we're saying is he finished in real time faster than the other runners. But right now we actually still have no idea of who's going to come in what place. Because just because real time, this is how they're displaying, it doesn't mean that they actually were the fastest one just because of how the load times work versus 30 and 60 FPS and different internet speeds. For example, I know JK's internet speed and Aiden's internet speed tend to be a little slower. So we'll see.
They both held up very well.
Yeah, their internet has held up fantastically, which extremely thankful that we're able to see everyone's awesome gameplay throughout the entire run.
So one thing that we do have to take in mind, also GG Aiden, that great Malice. One thing that we do have to take in mind is later on when we do see the IGTs are calculated weirdly, so don't be scared if the 125 ends up being like a 102, 101 IGT, because that's just how it goes. For some reason, it's just slower IGT. It's not calculated, so it's fast. It's slower to calculate, so it's about like a 90%, something like that. Yeah, 10% slower than real time. Says Foxy, thank you. So
yeah,
we just don't know.
Yep, and that's if you ever look on the speedrun.com charts and you take a look, that's what you're going to see is that in-game time, but oftentimes you'll see the real time next to it, and sometimes the real times will actually be, one will be faster than the other, but the IGT was slower, so the IGT is what truly determines their place on the chart.
For reference, Tic Tac's run is about 2.5. So it's about 2.5, 3 minutes slower RTA, but only 20 seconds slower than Foxy's time in a PS4 Pro with an SSD. Tic Tac in a normal PS4 with a hard drive.
And we're getting some Vape Nation.
Tic Tac! Woo! Look at that!
What?
I don't know what happened. I'm sorry, but
Tic Tac.
I don't know what happened. Okay, I don't know. I can't even. This is amazing.
Okay, I just saw that. That is amazing. that is absolutely amazing. I'm sorry, Tic Tac, but that's great. Like,
this is getting Tic Tac. This is the definition of getting
I
Tic Tac.
wanted to do all the cool Malice tricks just to prove to everyone that the meme isn't justified, and then that happens. So it is justified, I guess.
It's just you. It's just you, buddy. It's just you.
Tic Tac, we love you! Oh my god, I'm laughing so hard, I'm crying.
That was just how... We need to, like, make sure we watch that clip to understand how you... Because, like, getting launched like that on 30 FPS is pretty amazing, actually. Like, getting, like, that far is kind of nutty. I'm thinking what you probably did is somehow perfectly grabbed in between, like, the fur and the bracer that he wears, like on his forearms, and like somehow, some way, it just like flicked you out super jump style.
I got all the energy from him.
GG.
Yeah.
And watch Upstill turn that into an amazing golf video, just flinging yourself as far as you can with the bracelet.
Oh, you know what would be perfect? I'm inviting anybody to take this idea for an edit, but you do the home run bat sound from Smash Bros.
Oh my god, yes!
By the way, Aiden, your time was about a 1:29:33.
Very solid.
Amazing. And JK just loaded into the temple and has become the doorman, so we're gonna wait for that Vape Nation standing by.
He became a very glitchy doorman, my god. He spawned inside just vibrating.
And then
It's I think you're streaming on you're doing your stream as well, right? So we can go grab the full brunt of that clip.
Yeah. Clip the VOD.
And that's how I got
JK's got super floating Dorman.
Oh yeah.
It's like way up there.
Oh my god. We'll see it in the cutscene.
amazing. And Tic Tac got a pretty solid recovery as far as coming back and doing this Malice again. So Malice is going to be taken out with another stab or two here. There it is. Amazing job.
But yeah, that was just fate wanting me to be fourth in this race.
Definitely.
Since basically I got all the worst kind of time losses you can get.
For those of you who wanted it, Yusu also just clipped it in the chat. So there is a clip, everyone. Amazing. Oh, all right.
Oh my god, how did you do that? That's impressive.
That's
It's
so
by
cool.
flicking this stick around very quickly. Iguchi taught me that.
Oh my god, look at that floating.
Yeah, I actually had no idea how to do it.
Let me do it as well.
Wait.
You can like fly all the way up if you do
That's
that.
how you. Oh my god.
Let me just do it super jump style. Maybe I can.
Whoa! Yeah!
TikTok.
Holy crap!
Look at that man.
Is that faster? Because you like can.
Oh,
I don't think so because they keep shooting you. But who knows? Maybe there's some experimentation.
This is the new. This is.
Yeah. What's the time save on the dormant split?
Ascend to become the dormant itself in the
I don't think I
sky.
can go further.
I don't think
The
you're gonna
ceiling
appear
is
in the
blocking,
cutscene.
kind of.
Are you gonna appear in the
PG on your finish, JK and Aiden.
All right. JK just finished. Amazing work.
We're gonna TikTok. Calm
Now
down.
we're just waiting for TikTok. Final
I'm
time.
sorry.
Okay, this is definitely being slower, at least.
Yeah, for
How-
sure.
I don't know what they're
TikTok,
doing.
How dare you
TikTok,
have
have you
fun?
soft locked the game? TikTok, don't tell me you soft locked the game.
Did I again?
TikTok,
Did I
please.
go back to the floor?
Oh no.
Oh my
no.
god.
See, are they still like going? Yeah, I think they're still going. It's just slower.
Oh, okay. Woo!
Oh my god, he's flying.
Oh. Okay.
Sancho
They were
says,
just very confused. What is Dorman doing there? What is that?
Sancho
Why?
says, let the record show TikTok got memed right when I showed up for the stream. The Sancho curse continues.
Amazing. And really quickly,
Should I
Thar,
press?
let me
Oh,
ask you.
almost.
So, Tic Tac is about to hit the pool. Let's see. And there we go.
Time.
Yep.
What was
So,
it?
A 1:33, 1 second, the stream's catching up.
yeah,
1:33:19. GG's to all the runners.
amazing job, everyone. And Thar, this is a question I want to ask you. Is this an instance where we're going to be waiting for the IGTs, or should we just wrap up and let the runners introduce themselves now that we finished?
No, we have time. You said it's 10 minutes of credits, right? If we want to see all
Yeah.
four IGTs. I think we should, just because that's what you guys use for this game and load times are varying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I personally like to see who had the best.
Also,
Yeah.
it
I
would
think Box
still be
is pretty
under.
solid in first, but not
the
by
I
far.
honestly, I think, yeah, that's Tic Tac's right. I think I have first place, but Aiden will be a lot
No,
closer.
yeah.
Regardless,
Aiden.
it'd be cool to see everybody's IGT.
Yeah.
That was actually
Amazing.
very cool. Like when in all previous races, like I've won one, JK has won one, Aiden has won one, now Foxy won one. It's like
I know. I've been speedrunning this game for over 3 years now, and I've never won any of the races that we've ever done. So this is my first race win.
GG's, Foxy. Heck yeah.
Which
When
was
is it
just
my
like,
turn, boys?
All right, let's
soon,
see. And
I guess.
really quickly, I was gonna say before we just get into full-on talk and chat, May, if you have final announcements while we go through the credits, this would be a perfect time for that.
Sure, let me just give this a refresh quickly.
Absolutely.
We still have some of those incentives coming up. Right after this run is the Resident Evil 4 run. So the costume choice incentive is still open. $65 for Special 1 is currently leading, beating Default at 20. And then later today, we have Fire Emblem Awakening, Good or Bad Ending. Bad Ending is winning with 25. Good Ending behind at 10. And then for tomorrow's run, we still have incentives for Spyro 3 Reignited, Spyro's Color. Pink is currently winning at $5. Kingdom Hearts 3 Voice Language, Japanese is winning at $105. And Kingdom Hearts Final Mix, Dream Weapon Bid War, Shield is currently winning at $15. So if you want to influence those polls anyway, now is or get those donations in as soon as you can.
Thank you so much, May. And now I figure so Thank you so much for letting us commentate. Hey, runners, I'm going to turn it over to you so you can talk about the race. How was it for everyone? It was incredible to watch on this side.
Shall I start because I'm last?
Sure. we can go in RTA finishing order.
Yeah, so basically I got all the worst time losses you can think of, but the rest was actually very good. And then when I thought, okay, at least I'm getting third, the malice happens. So it was like almost the universe wanted me to lose that day. Considering especially yesterday I had like a very good run in comparison. So yeah, that's what the game does to you, especially to me in that case. We have
also,
like
introduce yourself just to make sure.
I'm TikTok. I'm like one of the main mods in the SRC and the Discord. Organize all the kinds of events, and you can find me on Twitch and YouTube. Especially if you want to learn the game, I got a bunch of tutorials up. And we have in our Discord a big overview that I also managed to do of all the tutorials and a checklist. So there's a lot of resources to learn the game. And yeah, I'm the one that always gets memed, and I won an award last year. I'm definitely clinging on to that one.
Yusu says the award for best marathon run goes to all of you. So, aw. All right, any other runners want to introduce themselves?
Oh, I don't know. Now I'm thinking about it. JK and Aiden may not be able to talk.
Oh yeah,
and Aiden is not even on the call anymore.
Yeah. So let me give a quick introduction of them. So JK has been running, I think, just about as long as I have. So we've both been running for a little over a year. And
one little side note about that, actually. Yeah. Not many people know that, but JK joined way earlier. Like I think just right after I joined, he just had a long break and rejoined the community when you were there. But he's actually a lot. He's been there for a lot longer than people think.
Okay.
His first technical speedrun that he did was even older than mine, I think.
That's incredible. Well, then I stand corrected. But he's a runner from the UK and just quickly propelled himself towards the top of the charts, and is just a really incredible runner. And then Aiden is our Canadian runner, who is just one of the kindest people that you will ever talk to, and does a lot with helping the newer runners. And basically, as he has put it in the past, will watch any version of the game, whether someone's just playing it for the first time casually or speed running it and trying to learn the tricks. And then Foxy, I'm going to let you introduce yourself since you're here.
Thanks, I guess. So I'm Foxzilla54. I've been speedrunning this game about since a month after the remake came out. So back in March of 2018-ish, March-April timeframe. So I've been running 101.49. So that's actually a pretty decent time. That's what it's currently.
That's fourth place.
That's fourth place, yeah. Just behind Tic Tac's recent PB, but yeah. Beat Madarashi as well, crazy. So I've been speedrunning this game for several years now. I don't play it as much as I used to, just because it's I don't know, it's a lot. It's a very taxing speedrun at the end of the day. But yeah, just been around for a long time. I've got a lot of, I guess, I don't know, knowledge about the game itself, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good time.
Heck yeah, and Foxy is a really awesome just streamer in general, and also plays other games. Speedrun. How many games do you speedrun now?
Not many. The most recent challenge type run I did was I completed a Sekiro hitless run about last week sometime. So yeah, that's what I did instead of speedrunning this game. So yeah, I kind of just do what I feel like nowadays. But yeah. Not too many speedruns. Final Fantasy X is probably my other main game, but that's, neither here nor there, I guess. So 10 hours of my life wasted on those, but several times over. But yeah, arigato, Mario. But and thanks for big thanks to the Japanese community.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's definitely awesome to see you all here. So really appreciate that.
Yeah, there are so many members of the community here. People and I cannot stress enough, we have people from all over the world in this community. So Japanese runners, we have American runners, English runners, we have runners from Japan, Spain, France.
Hey.
It's just, yes, Brazil, from Canada, from a million different parts of the world, which is so awesome to hear about people's different experiences and be able to teach each other, not just about the game, but about like the world. So that's something I'm really appreciative of. I don't know about anyone else, but
From the US, even says Sancho.
From the US, even.
Yeah, even the
US.
So we're going to be coming up, I believe, on Aiden's time, which will be interesting to see. It's probably going to be a PB, honestly. Because like his best time is like his best time is a 1:29.29. It could be.
Yeah.
Especially since like the loading time on like the console itself also varies a lot, which is kind of brutal if you don't have an SSD. So it could go either way, for sure.
I will say that both me and Aiden have unsubmitted. Me and Aiden both have PBs which we can't submit.
Oh, this is JK, by the way.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why can't you submit them?
Oh
wait.
Mine was,
Aiden's wasn't recorded.
Yeah, Aiden wasn't recorded. Oh, true.
What about yours, JK?
Well, mine was the stream was crashing and I didn't have a local recording, so.
Oh, that sucks. I'm so
I think
sorry.
we both were faster than Madarashi.
Ooh. It was on a low 103, I think, so just behind Madarashi, but it's close, wasn't it?
I'm not sure.
JK definitely was ahead of Madarashi.
They might have beaten Distortion then.
Alright, we're about to get Aiden's time here, so let's see, fingers crossed.
Let's see.
Can we get Aiden back in here, or is it too late?
Aiden, come back. Aiden. Well,
Baby, come back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you can blame it all on me.
Let's see. We have a 1:04.07.
Nice.
Very good time.
Yeah, sub 105 time is really like I would say top tier time at the end of the day when it comes to any percent, and then a lot of that on getting under that about 5 minutes of IGT is just a lot of optimization. So a 105 is a very, very solid time for a marathon.
Yeah, we did take kind of saw a marathon run. Every single run was really good. Yeah, even with the hiccups, unfortunate hiccups with JK, that Pelagia man. Oh god.
Oh, we were feeling for you there.
Oh, what a horrible play, Aiden.
Aiden, hello! Congratulations.
Hey. Thanks so much.
Absolutely.
That was awesome.
104 is a great time. Let's see. So
JK's
about
coming
to
up
end.
next. Yep.
Tic Tacs will be soonish.
Yeah, by the time we get JK's, he'll be coming up with Loki flying into the clouds. Oh, we call the bird Loki. Just heads up for anyone who might be curious.
Good to know.
Aiden taught me that.
Shooting the I still can't get over shooting the teeth. Makes
yeah,
sense,
that is actually useful information for hard 100%.
It's
actually. I feel like I've tried to do that before, but it's never worked. But I could just be crazy. I don't know. I wasn't like you're saying it was happening, and I was like looking at the stream, like, wait, what?
I don't think it does work.
Excuse me.
I don't know if it does anything, but
I don't think it does.
You think it does?
It was just turning as I hit the two.
No, maybe
okay.
It isn't.
Maybe we're not crazy.
Yeah, like, but Far knew it, so I'll trust Far's judgment in that.
I knew what?
The hitting the teeth with arrows turns or doesn't. We are not sure anymore.
Were you baiting
us? I think I found that by mistake because I was getting so frustrated with Pelagia that he was far away from the platform and I was just shooting him out of anger. He just turned around.
Sounds about right, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say that tracks. Also, 105.02 from JK. Amazing time there. Well done.
Nice.
And for those
Right.
curious,
Say otherwise.
our Discord link has been posted. If anyone's curious about speedrunning Shadow of the Colossus, Eco, or TLG, any version of any of the games, come join. Or just want to chill, come join.
Yeah.
We have cool events to watch. Join us.
Yes. Also, we like friends.
I swear we're cool.
Yeah. Hey, and a lot of us model wearing overalls. I am indeed wearing some today because I was doing yard work before this.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So the
Foxy
final
was like
one.
the only one with a good avion, which is funny.
Yeah.
Foxy
Oh,
got
that was
I think I literally just stole all of your luck getting IL Avion right there. Because I practiced that literally once and was like, I'll just eat it in the run and see how we do. So
Yeah, you psyched us all out.
Yeah, for sure. I thought about doing it myself for a second. Just to not fall behind.
I don't think either Saki or I expected you to do that. Neither one of us was prepared. We were not prepared.
I always go for it. I always go for it in marathons, so it's just
106.08.
Nice. Literally.
Nice.
So that's what, everyone coming within 3 minutes of each other?
I believe so, yeah.
More like 4.
That's
but yeah, close enough.
Yeah, amazing timing, everyone. Good job.
Yeah, and hope everyone's enjoyed. That's about it from us.
That's all from us.
It's a lot of fun. Thank you for
Thanks,
having us.
everyone.